Alright guys, in this video we're going to go ahead and cover the impending firing of Billy Napier, the current University of Florida Gators head coach. He's currently 1-2, or the Gators are 1-2 during the 2024 season. Basically, Billy Napier is, at any point in time, could be a day from now, 2 days from now, a month from now, 2 months from now. At any point in time, I expect Billy Napier not to be the head coach of the Florida Gators due to the fact he's recruited decently, but he has not recruited well enough to be part of the University of Florida culture and does not know how to motivate his players. The last 2 seasons have finished in a miserable. Last season finished 6-6. The season before, we finished 2 games below. His current record as the Florida Gators head coach is 12-16. Ladies and gentlemen, so I expect the athletic director to eventually, and the boosters to eventually fire Billy Napier. Now the elephant in the room is clearly, once the firing of Billy Napier happens, who would take over and who would take the job at the University of Florida. First of all, before I get into that, let me go ahead and read you an article of his recruiting classes, which the previous University of Florida Gators head coach Dan Mullen even ridiculed. Billy Napier 2023 class was ranked number 13th overall. His 24 class was ranked 15th overall. His class average has been throughout his 3 recruiting classes at the University of Florida, and being the head coach at the University of Florida has been 15th overall. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot have a 15th average class in order to compete in the SEC. Billy Napier has neglected the trenches both on the offensive line and the defensive line, and we have clearly been blown out during week 1 of this year and week 3 of this year by 2 superior teams, 2 teams that want to fight, 2 teams that are looking to get better. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had blown coverages during the University of Miami game earlier this year and blown coverages during the Texas A&M game this past weekend. That falls on Billy Napier and his staff. Billy Napier has also decided not to hire a offensive coordinator and has changed defensive coordinators twice, but has gone with people with no experience and fired somebody that had experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Napier neglected to accept the fact that he needed an offensive coordinator. He and somebody in the booth, which I can't remember now, are calling plays, but mainly he gets green light which play is going to go on offense. Also, Coach Sales, which is the offensive line coach, is not doing well recruiting. We have not recruited well offensively and defensively, and we are not showing passion for the game of football. As a Gator fan and a Gator alum, this is the worst I've seen since we had Ron Zook in the building when I was in college after the old ball coach decided to retire. Ron Zook was a better recruiter, but would not get his players to play well. In this case, Billy Napier is underperforming and is not the quality to be an SEC head coach. Like I said, his rankings of classes has not been good for the SEC. He has great receivers, great players on defense, but the defensive line and offensive line are terrible. And I think it's just also motivation. Let's answer the big elephant in the room. Who would I suggest UF Athletic Director Scott Strickland look on a short list football head coaches to take over the University of Florida? My number 1 guy on my list, and it's a very short list, is the current head coach at Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin reminds me of a young Spurrier. He doesn't care what people want to say, what people think of him, and he knows how to recruit both high school kids and within the portal. He would have more resources at the University of Florida than he does at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, more than likely, if they continue to do well, will be in the 12-team playoff this year for the national championship. My second candidate, that if I was the athletic director at the University of Florida, Scott Strickland, to look at. Most people have not mentioned him. He currently coaches at the University of Tennessee. Josh Heupel. He was a great college quarterback at the University of Oklahoma, and he's an awesome coach at the University of Tennessee. Currently, Tennessee is ranked number 7. Josh Heupel knows how to recruit both in the portal and the high school kids. So why not look at Josh Heupel? Why not? I would recruit somebody that has experience in the SEC. I don't want first-time head coaches. I would look at somebody that has had experience in the SEC before and in the past. People have been saying, go ahead and recruit, try to get Urban Meyer back. Urban Meyer does not want to coach with the new landscape of college football, so Urban Meyer would be a no for me. But we would need to get somebody that has experience in the SEC. The only person outside of the SEC I would think of is Brent Venables, but he just got to Oklahoma, so I would not know if he would want to jump to the SEC. Outside of that, people have mentioned the current Kansas State head coach. Kansas State does not compare to the SEC or the University of Florida, so he's off my list. But that's the big elephant in the room. How long will Napier last at the University of Florida? Only the boosters and Scott Strickland and the current president, which is the former president of the University of Florida, have full control over that. People want Scott Strickland to be fired. I say no. So Scott Strickland is not the problem because of the fact, to me, in my opinion, Scott Strickland gets a longer leash because he hired the current basketball coach at the University of Florida, Mr. Golden, and I think Mr. Golden has the current basketball program headed in the right direction. So to me, Scott Strickland deserves a longer leash at the University of Florida. Some fans were crying for Dan Mullen's head when Dan Mullen was around, and look at where we're now. They were crying so much that Dan Mullen got fired. We hired Billy Napier, and the Florida football program has fallen heights we have never seen, at least while I've been alive. Ladies and gentlemen, we need a new head coach. Florida needs to recruit better. Florida needs to get back to championship days. That's all I have to say. And always remember to like, share, and subscribe. Always remember to stay positive, stay on your grind, and never forget to smile at somebody, because you don't know who needs a smile once a day. You don't know whose lives you're saving. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. That's my 2 cents on the current situation at the University of Florida and the current status of current Florida head coach, Billy Napier. If anything breaks, I will come back and either do a short or do another video once anything breaks in terms of anything new with Billy Napier and the University of Florida. Have a great day, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.